Imagine walking into a mall. Every surface gleams with temptation. Shoes that promise confidence, phones that promise connection, and brands that promise identity. You're surrounded by choices, yet somehow you feel empty. Now imagine Socrates walking beside you. No shopping bags. No phone. Just questions. He looks around and asks, is this really what makes life worth living? In a world dominated by consumerism, where we are constantly sold identities, lifestyles, and meanings, what would Socrates, the father of philosophy, say about how we live today? Would he challenge us to examine our consumption the way he examined beliefs? And more intriguingly, would he have been a minimalist? Welcome to the Unfolding Journey, the channel where we connect timeless ideas with our modern world. Here, we go beyond surface-level thinking to explore life's deeper questions. Whether you're curious about philosophy, society, or how ancient wisdom can shape our future, you're in the right place. Let's walk with Socrates into the marketplace of today and ask whether we've traded truth for things. Socrates once famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." For him, a meaningful life was one built on self-reflection, virtue, and critical thinking, not material wealth or comfort. Contrast that with modern consumerist culture, which tells us, you are what you wear. Happiness can be delivered in 1 to 2 business days. Success is visible, measurable, and shareable. Today, life is examined through Instagram filters and shopping carts, not philosophical inquiry. We've shifted from examining life to consuming life. The question is, what does that do to our souls? Let's imagine Socrates, robe and all, wandering through a modern shopping mall. He might stop people mid-purchase and ask, "Why are you buying this? Will this truly bring you lasting happiness? Do you own your possessions, or do your possessions own you?" For Socrates, virtue and wisdom were the highest goods, not things. His lifestyle was simple. He owned little. He lived deliberately. Not because he read the life-changing magic of tidying up, but because his focus was internal, not external. To Socrates, true wealth was found in self-mastery, not accumulation. In many ways, Socrates was a minimalist, not in style, but in philosophy. Minimalism today is often confused with aesthetics: white walls, tiny homes, clean desks. But at its core, minimalism is the practice of intentional living, of removing the unnecessary so the necessary may speak. Socrates would have been less concerned with your wardrobe and more concerned with your motives. Why do you crave more? What are you trying to fill? Who told you you're incomplete without this? In that sense, Socratic thinking and minimalism are soulmates. They both ask, what truly matters? And more importantly, why aren't we asking that more often? Modern consumerism thrives not because we're greedy, but because we're insecure. Advertising doesn't sell products. It sells emotions, identities, and answers to our unexamined questions. Want to be respected? Buy this watch. Want to be loved? Wear this perfume. Want to be successful? Drive this car. Socrates would have dissected these messages ruthlessly. He would have asked, why do you need a product to tell you who you are? And that's the uncomfortable truth. Consumerism thrives where introspection is absent. We often equate more choices with more freedom. But Socrates would challenge this idea. Are we truly free if our choices are shaped by subconscious desires, peer pressure, and billion-dollar marketing campaigns? To him, freedom was inner clarity, the ability to choose based on reason, not impulse. So while capitalism gives us options, Socratic minimalism asks us, are those options helping us live better lives, or just busier ones? Beyond personal well-being, Socrates would likely ask about the ethical implications of overconsumption. Who made the cheap clothes you wear once and throw away? What happens to the electronics discarded for upgrades? What does endless buying do to our planet, our relationships, and our character? Socrates believed in living a virtuous life. And that virtue wasn't abstract, it was active. He'd challenge us to connect our lifestyle choices to broader consequences. Not out of guilt, but out of justice. Socrates wouldn't give us a 10-step decluttering method or tell us to throw out half our closet, but he'd invite us to ask better questions. Here's how we can begin. 1. Question your desires. Ask, why do I want this? Is it need, status, boredom, or loneliness? 2. Define enough. What is enough for you? Enough money, space, attention? Most of us never define it, so we never reach it. 3. Practice deliberate ownership. Own things that serve your growth and your values, not your insecurities. 4. Build identity from within. Don't outsource your self-worth to brands or bank accounts. As Socrates showed, Rich inner life can't be bought. 5. Engage in reflective conversations. Challenge your friends, your family, yourself. Ask the uncomfortable questions. That's how growth happens. Yes and no. He wouldn't post flat-lay photos of his desk on Instagram. He wouldn't join the minimalist movement. He wouldn't preach downsizing just to chase a trend. But he would live simply. He would examine his motives. And he would ask us to do the same. In the truest sense, Socrates would be a philosophical minimalist. Someone who strips away illusion to uncover truth. Who lets go of distraction to embrace depth. Who rejects consumerism not because it's ugly, but because it's unexamined. We don't need to reject everything. We don't need to move to a cabin in the woods. But we do need to pause and ask ourselves, am I living the life I chose? Or the life I was sold? The unexamined life may be full of things, but it's also full of noise, confusion, and hunger for more. Socrates reminds us, it's not the possessions that ruin us. It's the lack of questions. So let's reclaim the examined life, in a world that desperately needs it. If this conversation made you think, or made you uncomfortable, that's good. That's what philosophy is for. Subscribe to The Unfolding Journey for more deep dives into the ideas that shape how we live, think, and grow. Leave a comment. What would you ask Socrates if he showed up in your life today? And remember to like and share if you believe that less stuff and more soul is the path to a better life. Thank you for watching, and keep examining everything.